Arsenal fans, this season is upon us. Arsenal vs Man United, Gyokeres vs Sesko, Rúben Amorim vs Mikel Arteta. Old Trafford is awaiting these players. And this is the perfect fixture to show people Arsenal are a serious outfit this season. People have been wondering what Arsenal would look like if they get a proper striker. We've now got him. So let's show them. Let's show them exactly why people have feared Arsenal with a striker, why the conversations have been so prevalent. Viktor Gyökeres has arrived, but he's not the only talking point that I want to touch on in this game. There are so many interesting variations on how you can break down this game, and I want everyone's thoughts and opinions. Before I get into it though, you know the drill. My name is Jed, and if you could help me out by doing me a quick favour, it's absolutely free. Just hit like and subscribe on this video. So the same as last season, I'm going to start these kind of match breakdowns with a quick question. And if anyone's able to get it right, like I did last season, in the breakdown video after the game, I will give you a shout out on screen. So I want to ask you, what is your Man United vs Arsenal score prediction? Let me know in the comments section. For me, this game is so interesting because there's so many different variables. Man United are a different outfit this season. Arsenal are a different outfit this season. Arsenal have progressed. They've upgraded certain positions. And how will that look when it's played out in front of us? Everyone can look on paper and say, right, Arsenal have improved. But what does that actually look like? I think we definitely got an insight. On pre-season, we saw the way Arsenal were attacking maybe was slightly different. There were points at times where we were going slightly more direct. And that's what I'm expecting in this game. Look, Havertz wasn't that main focal point that Viktor Gyökeres could be for this Arsenal team. That is assuming Mikel Arteta even starts Viktor Gyökeres in this game. Now, I'm sure most people would agree with me. I hope Havertz doesn't start this game. That's not because I don't like Havertz, but I just want to see Viktor Gyökeres started from the start of the season because I genuinely think this guy has a chance in being the Premier League top scorer. He does offer us that vocal point. He has so many qualities to his game. The way he can hold up a ball, bring players in. The way he can lead the line and get played in behind and just be able to shoot in those moments where you need a player to pull the trigger. Viktor Gyökeres offers that. Now, I don't know what Mikel Arteta will do. There were some comments in one of my previous videos where people were saying I think we should start Havertz and then introduce Gyokeres as the game plays on. Maybe in the 60th minute, then we bring on Gyokeres. Let me know if you agree with that. For me, it's just like, if Gyokeres is the long-term option, which most of us expect he is, why don't we just play him? Like, this guy, the way he links up with Martinelli can definitely benefit Martinelli. The way he kind of runs into that left channel, that will allow Martinelli to come more central. So maybe he can get onto his right foot more often. That's something we've discussed. Saka, Odegaard, how will the role of Zubimendi impact this Arsenal team? Because I think there will be moments where Zubimendi just goes direct to Gyokeres. His passing range is very, very good. Technically, Zubimendi on the ball is incredible. So if he sees Gyokeres making one of those runs, why can't he just play that long ball? Now, it's not all going to be like that because if we're pressing Man United, I expect us to have a lot of possession, but it's interesting how the midfield will impact this game because Man United, they're going to play with 4 midfielders. They've got like 2 8s. They play with Bruno and probably Agate, and then further forward, they got Cunha and Mbeumo. So they're going to have 4 midfielders. Will that change the way that Mikel Arteta sets up? This is where I want your guys' input. Because of how Man United are set up, do you think Mikel Arteta has to adjust the way this Arsenal team is set up? Or do you just look at it and say, no, we're not going to change our style of play to suit Man United. We just need to play exactly how we are and attack the game. That's probably what I would do. But we know these managers have a knack or a need at times to be able to adapt to certain situations. So he might look at that midfield and say, they got 4 central midfielders. Maybe we need to play a double pivot. Maybe we'll have Rice and Zubimendi sitting deep and maybe free up Odegaard to help get forward. That's why I can't wait to see how Arteta approaches this game because Man United are different. You look at their attack, and we've spoken about their signings. I like some of the signings they've got. They've got Sesko. Will Sesko start in this game? If I was Man United, of course I play Sesko because I don't rate their other strikers. Højlund isn't that great. Xerxes, I'm glad we dodged that bullets. There was times where we was being linked with Xerxes, and if you go back, every single time I said, no thank you, I'm not interested. I could see the way Xerxes played and he doesn't suit. But now looking at Sesko and you think, they've got a real player. You look at Mbeumo and Cunha. Both of these guys are Premier League proven. The attitude of Cunha can probably be questioned at times, and when it gets hard and he's forced to dig deep, maybe he withers slightly. So if I'm the decision maker behind this game, and I understand I'm not intelligent enough to ever be in Mikel Arteta's shoes, but we can all dream, we can all speak about it, I would just say, no, go and attack this game. Declan Rice, go and do what you do. Odegaard, do what you do. Zubimendi in that 6 role will allow this, I don't know, a certain level of freedom in those 2-8 areas being Rice and Odegaard, because he's so good. Not just clearing up, but like I said, when he gets the ball, the way he starts these attacks, it's going to be really, really good. The left-hand side is interesting for me because Martinelli's the better defensive left winger. I know, because every time I do a video mentioning Martinelli, there's people in the comments saying he's rubbish. I don't know why we're playing him. He doesn't offer anything. So there is frustration around Martinelli. So what's clear is this is a massive season for Martinelli. He has to improve. If not, he can find himself probably by game week 5 or 6 losing his place to Madueke. Now, we've still got Trossard kicking about. There are obviously rumours of maybe Trossard leaving. It would be interesting to see Madueke in that left wing position. That's what I would want to see eventually, but I don't think it's going to be in this game. Now, if Mikel Arteta decides to do it, then great. I just don't see it happening because Man United play with I don't know, it's essentially a back 5. They play with 3 centre-backs and the 2 right and left wing-backs who fly forward. Those are areas where I think Man United are going to be weak, because if they are flying wing-backs and they get forward, there's a lot of space for our wingers to expose. We know how much of a good dribbler Madueke is. So if you've got Saka on the right and Madueke on the left, that could just pin back their right wing back. So in the channels, I think there's going to be a lot of space in our half pushing into their half. And that means it doesn't matter how many central midfielders they got. They're going to be vulnerable on the wings because they're not going to want to leave Saka in behind or Madueke or even Martinelli in behind. I think there are some fascinating battles to be had on this pitch. Let me know what team you would go with. This is the team that I would go with to face Man United. I'd go Raya in goal. I'd go Ben White at right back. I've let my feelings be known about Ben White. I think he's brilliant, and I think with a run of games, he will continually keep improving. A lot of people are saying they like Timber. I like it. I get Timber. But I want to see Ben White given another run in this team just to show what he can do. And if Timber fights for that position and wins it back, fair enough. But I think Ben White's looked okay pre-season, so you've got to give Big Benny Blanco that right back position. Saliba, Gabriel, left back. It's a hard one because if we are attacking, Calafiori is perfect. Now, I have said we're probably slightly more vulnerable when we play Ben White and Calafiori together, but because Man United do play those wing-backs, I would stick Calafiori in this game. I'd go Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. Let him get forward. Let him cause mayhem. Attack this game at Old Trafford. Like I said, lay down the lantern and let people know we're a serious outfit this season. We're not worried about what players you got. We're going to attack the game. And I think having Calafiori, now I like Miles Lewis-Skelly, but I think Calafiori is a better attacking fullback, especially for getting down that wing. And if it is Martinelli, which, you know, I'm expecting it to be, then I think that frees up Martinelli a bit more, especially with Gyokeres. Then I'd play Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard. Again, a massive season for Odegaard. We all know that. Saka, I think it's going to be Martinelli, and then Viktor Gyökeres up front. And if people are asking me or pressing me for a score prediction, I think Arsenal will win this game 2-0. And people might say, God, clean sheet at Old Trafford. I know. I think it's going to be a Viktor Gyökeres goal, and you can clip this because this will happen. Viktor Gyökeres and Bukayo Saka, 2-0 to Arsenal. Like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know your score prediction, and if you do get it right, I will give you a shout out. The only other thing I wanted to touch on was this Odegaard captaincy that seems to be causing a big stir in the Arsenal fan base. Media outlets are picking it up and running with it. Tony Adams coming out and saying Odegaard isn't an Arsenal captain. But Arteta come out yesterday and shut him down and said, no, we had a vote on the captain, and Odegaard overwhelmingly won that vote. So that's the end of it, and that's the way I feel. Like, if the players are voting for Odegaard to be the captain, but then let him be the captain. It's not like when Tony Adams was playing where you need the biggest, strongest, loudest, most vocal captain in the world to drag you through games. Now, if you do kind of have that captain, I think the closest example we had to that was probably Granit Xhaka in recent years. Martin Odegaard is a fine captain. Could Declan Rice be a good captain? Of course he could. He's captain material. But Mikel Arteta relies on that captaincy group. It's not just one player that he looks at and pinpoints and says every single person listens to just him and no one else has an input. We see when they're doing their huddles, you have Odegaard talking, you have Declan Rice talking. Even when Zinchenko's on the pitch, he will talk. So there are more than one player or players who are kind of leaders in this team. So that the more leaders you have, it will benefit this Arsenal team. And just because you take the armband off Odegaard and give it to Declan Rice, that doesn't automatically mean you are more likely to win. If anything, it may disrupt the team because then you're going to have an Odegaard who's not that happy. You might have other players in the team who are not happy with the way that Odegaard got stripped. And that's just not the way that Arteta operates. He likes to put trust in his players. And if he's pinpointed Odegaard as his captain, and all the players agreed with that, there's no way that that's going to change. So let's just get behind these players. Let's not cause a stir. Let's not put unnecessary pressure on these players before a ball's even been kicked. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the start of the season. Like I said, this is the point where we all get to start dreaming. There's optimism in this Arsenal fan base, and I can feel it. There's optimism in the Man United fan base, and I can feel it. I just want to see how we line up. Will it be Martinelli? Will it be Madueke? Will it be Gyokeres or Havertz? What else? What are the fullbacks going to be? There's so many questions that need answering. And Sunday we get to find out. Let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. And before you go, if you could do me a quick favour of just hitting like and subscribe. And I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.